that when you make a choice, you either say yes or you say no. You think you can also stay neutral. But when you stay neutral, you're also making a conscious choice to step back and take a back seat. And that leads me to the next word, which is conscious. So long as you're not drugged or under influence, you are conscious. It means you're aware of decisions you're making. And when it comes to choices, it's very instructive because you cannot begin to give excuses because you are conscious. You know what you're doing, and that means you are aware that this might lead you in a certain direction. So that is conscious. You are aware, whether it's an informed or an uninformed decision, you are making a conscious choice. The earlier we begin to come to terms with the fact that I need to take responsibility, I'm aware, I'm grown, I'm an adult, this is a conscious decision I'm making. That is how you begin to take the right steps towards living your life using the right decision-making process. And finally, the third word, which I'd like to introduce to you, is consequence. That word in itself is heavy. Consequence is heavy. Many of us don't like to hear it, but there's a popular maxim that says every choice or choices have consequences. My usual thoughts to that is I cast my mind back about 8 years ago that I got married. They didn't give me the full picture. I thought I would be in charge, but now I know that I'm second in command. I'm not actually in command. That is a consequence of my choice to get married. But I'm not saying you shouldn't get married. If you want to get married, please go ahead, but know the consequence. So my usual preference is to think about the outcomes of my actions and ask myself, can I live with it? And I'm recommending to you today that you also do the same thing. The earlier we begin to have in mind, starting with the end in mind, the better we can live our lives. So in a nutshell this morning, before I go to the summary, what I'm saying is what you do, what you don't do, what you do too much of, what you do too less of, can in and of itself determine how far you go in life. And like I said, how much you sink or you spring in life. In summary, decisions are conscious choices that have consequences. Let me say that again. Decisions are conscious choices that have consequences. I'm hoping that you also remember that when you decide, you're determining expressively, completely, and immediately to destroy excuses. And that will help you go a long way. My hope is that you will take action accordingly and begin to live fantastic lives. I hope you enjoyed the best of the rest of the first half of this year, though it's been tumultuous. I encourage you that the second half will be progressive and it will be positive. Thank you for having me this morning. My time is up. Over to you, Toastmaster Freddie.
My brother, thank you so much. My people, if you think that you gain something from there, please unmute your mic and do what you want to do. If you like, faint, I don't know. If you like, if you like, fall down from your chair, I don't know. I will not tell you what to do. Just unmute your mic so that we can hear. If you like, on your camera so that you can see that you have fallen down or whatever is your reaction to express yourself, please. So you fainting.
Yeah, Pradeep, consequence.
Yes. So if you decide to faint, that's your conscious decision. That's your conscious choice of a consequence to faint. Leave that matter. Leave that matter.
Consequence.
Okay. So that was our guest speaker, my brother from another mother. Thank you, Dokun. Thank you, David. Thank you, Oedotu. Thank you, my brother. Now, still on this hat of the president, I'm not changing that hat. TM Chizong, please note, I'm not changing this hat. I'm going to change it later when I'm going to wear the hat of the Toastmaster of the Table Topic Master of the Day. Now my job is to introduce Toastmaster of the Day. This Toastmaster of the Day, who I'm supposed to introduce, it's not fair because the Toastmaster who doesn't need any introduction, and they say, make I introduce him. Don't put me in a spot like this. I don't know why my people like to put me in a spot, but anyway, I'll try my best to introduce him. He's a business development executive just like me. See, we have something in common, no problem. He joined Toastmasters in 2014. That's fantastic. He likes to drive, he likes to speak, he likes to dance. And among these three things, the driving, the speaking, and dancing, the most polished skill of his is definitely speaking. Why am I saying so? Why am I saying so is that if it was not that polished, people will not pay him to come and MC the event. People will not be booking him in advance to come and compare a show. So this person whom I'm going to put on stage is actually a professional MC, a professional compare. People actually sometimes use references, say, please, do you know TM Chizom? Say, I know. Can you please call him for me? I beg. I want to pay him to become an MC for this day. I want him to be the compare of the day. So that's the caliber of the Toastmaster of the day today. His name is TM Chizom. So unmute your mic. A round of applause for the Toastmaster of the day who takes over the proceedings of today's meeting. He is the MC of today's meeting. Over to you, TM Chizom. TM Chizom, over to you. TM Chizom, over to you.
Okay, hi. Good morning. Can everybody hear me? Can everybody hear me?
It's a bit faint. It's not very sharp. It's not very clear. You're freezing now. TM Chizom.
Can everybody hear me?
No, we can hear you, but not very clearly. Your screen is frozen.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Your screen is okay now.
Are we good now?
Yes, you're good now. Yeah, it's good now. Any other people, please
Okay.
respond.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. I think my internet connection made a conscious choice there that is just giving us this consequence, you know. And I always look forward to hearing Pradeep's introduction of me. Because it always cracks me up and always gives me a lift every single time. It's a different one. Otumba, thank you so much. Thank you very much. Always grateful. With this, your heart. All right, the next time I'm on, I'll beat this heart. As I just came, I thought I was doing well. You now came and you spoiled everything for me. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining. You're welcome to another Toastmasters meeting. This is a joint meeting between two clubs, Lighthouse Toastmasters and Lighthouse Prestige Toastmasters. If this is your first time, I'll just give you a little bit of an introduction, sort of, you know. But first, let me tell you that you're in the right place. Toastmasters is a leadership and public speaking organization. So basically what we do here is that through interaction and feedback, we learn how to build our communication skills, we learn how to build our leadership skills. And while doing that, in the midst of all of that seriousness, we also make sure that we have tons and tons of fun. So I really want you to feel welcome. Every other person here, please, can you just unmute your mics for a minute so I know I'm not speaking to myself, and just put your hands together. Someone is already doing I know it's rude. I know it's rude. Okay, all right, fantastic. Okay, so we're going to jump right into it. While you just hold on to your seats, it's going to be an interesting ride. To start off for today, we need to start with a bit of introduction. So as I mentioned earlier, one of the major things that we do here is feedback. And of course, you know, you cannot do feedback if you do not track, right? By the way, Toastmaster Dokun, I'm going to come back to you for more explanations on that marriage thing. You know, when you said that you went into marriage thinking that you'll be the boss, but eventually at the end of the day, it turns out that you are second in command. In fact, sometimes you're not even second in command, you are just the houseboy, you know, as I've noticed around. So these are the reasons why when my mother is telling me, go and marry, I tell her it's not your fault. It's because you are the boss in your own house. You're looking you want to send me on an apprenticeship, right? So I'm going to introduce the team that I'll be working with today. This team is going to work with me to make sure that this meeting comes out shaped as best as possible, to make sure that you have the best time possible. And to help me do this, I will be inviting a Toastmaster who will be playing the role of timekeeper and hour counter today. She will come up and explain to you what these roles mean. But first, let me let you know that Toastmaster Chinyere Emeka is an interior designer. She sells furniture. And while she's selling furniture in the front store, in the back, she's listening to music and cooking. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Chinyere Emeka, timekeeper at counter.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Toastmasters of the day. And good morning,
Hi, good morning.
fellow Toastmasters and my distinguished guests. Two important things to learn today on your way to becoming a competent speaker is to be able to speak within the time given to you and to be able to avoid the use of pause fillers while speaking. On this note, I'll be playing two roles today, the air counter and the table topic, and the timekeeper for today. So for the timekeeper, my role is to make sure speakers speak within the time limits, within the time frame given to them. And I'll also be showing the color cards. And those cards is to tell you, when you see the cards, the green, yellow, and red, is to tell you that you should start rounding up. Okay, but I'll show you later. There are two segments for today's meeting, which is the table topic and also the prepared speech prepared speech segment. For the table topics, speaker has 2 minutes to deliver their speech. When you see the green card, you have 1 more minute left. So you start rounding up. And when you see the yellow cards, which I'll show you later, which when you see the yellow cards, you have 30 minutes to round up. Then the red card, you should start rounding up. Same applies to the prepared speech, where you have 7 minutes and 10 minutes to give your speech. So for the 7 minutes, for the 7 minute speech, when you're at 5 minutes, I'll be showing you the green card. Then this is the green card here. I'll be showing you the green cards. So when you see the green card, it means you are 5 minutes. And when you see the yellow card, I don't know if you are seeing the cards. Then if you are in 6 minutes,
you can see the card.
You're not
Share
seeing
your screen. Share your screen.
Are you seeing it now? The yellow card. Sorry, let me get a reply because
Not yet. Not yet. Have you shared your screen?
Yes, I have. I've shared my screen. I don't know why. I don't know. Are you seeing it?
So when you
yet.
When you click on the share, click on what you want to show. You see options. Click on what you want to show.
So
okay,
That's working now.
Yes,
Yeah.
we can see it now. We can see it now.
Okay. When you see the green card, it means you have you've spoken for 5 minutes. Then the yellow card, you've spoken for 6 minutes. Then the red card. Then the red card, it means your time is up. You should start rounding up. So, and I'll also be playing the role of the accountant. Okay.
Are you still there, Tim Chinyere?
Yeah, I'm still here. Okay, I'm also be playing the role of the accountant. This role is to take notes of the pause fillers, the overused words like well, but, all these words affect us while giving speech. It makes our speech not go smoothly. So I'll advise you don't use it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Chinyere. Thank you so much for that introduction. These roles are not minor roles, and it's just amazing. Blows my mind that you're playing not one but two of them on this particular day. Thank you for working with me on this. The next person I'll be introducing will be the person occupying the roles of grammarian and listening evaluator. He joined in 2014. He is an engineer and absolutely loves influencing people positively. I'm sure that he will influence us today. Please put your hands together for TM Salif Mohammed.
Thank you, TM Chisom. I'm delighted to be playing the role of grammarian and listening for this meeting. I'll be playing this dual role. The grammarian is to check the right and wrong use of grammar and to check your listening skills. The word of the day is elicit. Kindly repeat with me. Elicit.
Elicit.
Elicit. And it means to draw out by discussion. An example. I tried to elicit a smile from Joanna. I hope that the simplicity of the word of the day will elicit the gracious use of it today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Salif. Thank you so much. I hope everybody got the word of the day. If you got the word of the day, listen, let's do something right now. Let's do something right now. Everybody, I need you to unmute your microphones, and then I'll count to 3, and we will all say the word of the day together. Unmute your microphones, if you're here and you got the word of the day. The word of the day is illicit, and we're going to state the word together. I'm going to count to 3, on 1, on 2, on 3. Go. Illicit.
Illicit. Illicit.
Illicit.
Illicit.
Illicit.
Great.
Illicit.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you very much. So, TM Salif, please kindly mark 1-1 for all of us. Thank you. You are blessed. All right. So, moving on, the next thing we're going to do now is to launch into the meeting proper. Like I said, it's always this Toastmasters is a meeting that Toastmaster Ruth says she didn't get the word of the day. It is illicit. If anybody didn't get it, someone please help us put it in the comments. We're going to go deep into another part of this meeting, which is, okay, thank you. Thank you so much. All right, so the next section of this meeting is one where we practice our speaking skills, but in some other way. I was going to let me just allow the next person to tell you what it's about, but I can tell you one thing that you need to do in the table topics section, that which is what I'm going to introduce now. You know, when we used to be in physical meetings, when it's time for table topics, that's usually when people start avoiding eyes of the person, of the table topics master. That's when your phone starts ringing. That's when all of a sudden you want to pick up something from the floor that we swept before the meeting. So you see, but the good thing here is that this is online. You think you can avoid it now, but you cannot. I used to give a tip for avoiding like eye contact, but it cannot work here because all they have to do is to find your box on here and they know that you're attending. So I wish you well, my brothers and sisters. Fortunately, I'm not part of this, and Otumba cannot do anything to me. So I'm going to introduce somebody that has already been introduced, Toastmaster Pradeep Pawahani as the table topics master. We call him Otumba.
Thank you, TM Chisholm. That's my second hat of the day. You see, there's a difference in that hat.
I see. There's I see the difference. Oh, yes.
Yes. So because I was told in time that I'm wearing 2 hats. And when they told me at that point of time, I was not wearing any hat. So what the person wanted to do is, wanted to elicit, that is drawn by the discussion that you have 2 hats. That was the VPE of the day. VP of the day.
That was what they intended to do, but instead they elicited a reaction from you, which is 2 hats.
Yes. So I got elicited. I got elicited by that TM Salif, so I've now decided to bring physical hats. I know he meant that I was playing 2 roles, but anyway. So coming to the table topics, Table topics is a session where we learn how to speak off the cuff, how to speak ex-tempo. In real life scenario, we do come across scenarios when we are put on spot. So this training, this learning has helped several people, and you can keep on being ready for such situations which you're not ready for. So it means you're getting ready for the situations which you're not ready for. So what I'm trying to elicit is that you should be ready for the unready. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So how it goes is that I'll call upon a participant. When I call upon the participant on stage, the person unmutes the mic and ons the camera, says hello to everybody, and I get to know the person. What I do is I now give the person a topic. The person has a time, has to speak for 2 minutes. So minimum of 1 minute and maximum of 2 minutes, 30 seconds, the person has to speak and deliver the message. Okay, so let's get the ball rolling. The first person I want to call on stage, his name is Damilare. He's a guest. And I saw him, he came early. So it means he's interested in self-development. So because he came early to the meeting, I want to give him this opportunity that without wasting time, he has been called as the first participant of today's table topic master. What am I trying to elicit here? I'm trying to elicit that people, yes, come on stage.
Go Damilare, go Damilare.
Yes. Damilare Ogunaike, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay. Yeah. The topic goes like this. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay. My brother spoke earlier. That's TM David Dotu. He spoke earlier about decision making. You were there?
Yes, I was.
Yes. So he said, life is a result of past decisions. Life, what we are going through now, is a result of some past decisions. Do you agree? If yes, why? If you don't agree, why? Life is a result of past decisions. Do you agree? If yes, why? If not, why not? You're clear?
Yes.
Okay, so over to you, TM. Sorry, not TM. Guest Damilare.
Okay, good morning, everybody. I'm very excited to be here. Life is a result of past decisions. Yes, I strongly agree, right? Because at every phase in our lives, we are faced with choices to make, and the choice you make determines what action or what happens to you. So I don't believe in random occurrences, so to speak, right? Because the decisions you make affect what happens to you. I'm going to give a story of what happened back in university, right? I had a roommate, his name was Toby Makinde, and we were both meant to go for an exam. We're having an exam like on a weekend. Now, being a very playful person, right? I sought out to not caring about that decision, about the exam that we're going to have. While this my roommate, being a very meticulous and disciplined person, was reading diligently, trying to elicit the information required to succeed in that exam. Now it so happens that exam, on the weekend when we took it, he had an excellent grade, while as expected, I failed woefully. Now, surprisingly, the decision I made that week to not be serious about the exam has caused a huge difference in where me and Toby is today. It happens to be a professional exam, and that certificate we got from that professional exam has influenced Toby's career trajectory. Graduating from school, that singular certificate offered him a job in a big IT firm in Nigeria, while me, I had to do a lot of scrambling to find my feet. Now, Toby is at an extreme end, at a good position in his career, while I'm still just trying to get my act together. Just that single decision I made that week has influenced where I am today. Now, the same thing goes for other areas of our lives. The decisions you make definitely determine the outcome you are going to have, because because like TM Jotun said, decision not to decide, not making a choice is a decision to fail, right? In primary school, my one of my lecturers had this quote. I'm trying to remember vividly. To fail to prepare is to prepare to fail, which means, so in a way means if you do not make like plans to excel or to succeed at a particular thing, you are inherently making another decision to fail at that thing. So yes, in summary, I agree vehemently that your decisions determine the outcome of your life. Thank you.
Can we give him a round of applause? Thank you, guest. Thank you, Damilare Ogunaike. Fantastic, fantastic. We need to move on. The second participant who's coming on the stage, I hope I can pronounce the name very well. The name is Ayan Feolua. Ayan Feolua. Please, Ayan Feolua, please come on stage. Unmute your mic, on your camera, please.
Woo!
Some people are already cheering for him. I can't see Ayan Feolua.
Okay, so I'm here, but I apologize. I cannot show my face because I'm not well dressed.
That's okay.
I'm just
that's okay.
listening to this.
Fantastic. Okay. I guess you are a guest, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I want to give you a very simple topic, topic to talk about. So using that topic, I want to elicit your views. Yeah, that's the whole idea of giving you that topic so that we can elicit your views on the subject matter. Okay, in life, we take a lot of decisions. Do you agree that we take a lot of decisions in life?
That's right.
Okay, just tell us about one of your best decisions. There will be a couple of best decisions you have taken, but one of the best decisions you have taken, tell us about it in 2 minutes, please. Over to you.
Okay, I guess I have 2 minutes for this.
Yes,
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Right, so the best decision, or one of the best decisions I've ever made in life was, and I believe that decision is what led me through vital trajectory in life. And the first of them was training to become a broadcaster. I remember when I finished my service, I knew I wanted to be a broadcaster all along, and I could have thought that a skill I acquired in school was enough for me. But I registered in a training school to train as a broadcaster. I spent 2 months in that school thinking that all I would be taught there was to just sit in front of the television and then speak. But no, we were taught the act of elocution. We were taught 90% how to speak rightly. Immediately after that training, I went ahead to become a broadcaster, but I resigned after 10 years to teach elocution full-time. And every time I sit back and I remember, what if I had not gone to that school? What would have happened? But that school helped me in what I am doing today. So every time in retrospect, I know that that decision was the best decision because it gave me such a vital foundation for the work I do today and the influence I have in the scheme of things. Thank you for listening.
Okay. Thank you, Ayan Feolua. That was a nice one. You can unmute your mic and give her a round of applause. There's a broadcaster among midst of us. Fantastic. Nice to have you here.
Yeah.
Yes. Fantastic. So we keep rolling, and then as we keep on calling the speakers and we request them, we elicit their views on whatever topic I'm giving it to them. So they're free to talk their mind. And then the next person whom I'm giving this opportunity is, I have the name as Chiamaka Okoye. Chiamaka Okoye, you're welcome. Please unmute your mic and on your video. Chiamaka Okoye. Oh, I think we need to clap for the person before the person comes, because some people, if you don't clap for them, they don't come on stage. They don't come on stage. Some people are used to clapping. Where's the person? Can anybody see the person?
Nope.
No? No, I can see. I can see, but is the person shying away? Okay, no problem. 3 seconds more. Chiamaka Okoye, not coming on stage. Coming on stage. Put on your video, off your microphone. I mean, unmute yourself. Sorry, that's what I meant. Okay, I think the person doesn't want to come up. Okay, the next person on my list is Jube Ojomo. Jube Ojomo. Where is the person? Okay. Jube Ojomo. Where is the person? Give me a minute.
His name is actually Jube, not Jube.
Oh,
Jube.
Sorry.
Jube.
Jube Ojomo. I saw the person as participant, but I can't see the person again. Okay, no problem. Let me call on your mic.
Toastmaster Pradeep, we have volunteers in the comments. I don't know if you want to check there.
No, I know. They are the usual suspects.
Okay.
They sometimes even volunteer before the meeting starts. Like Christopher, like Julie, like Joy Cheyenne, even before the meeting starts, they volunteer. I'm waiting for the day.
They volunteer in the last meeting for the future meeting.
Yes, something like that. So one has to be careful. Just Okay, it's my pleasure to invite Tope on stage. Tope Adebodu. Tope Adebodu, please. Please unmute your mic.
Tope.
Wow. Why are some people hiding today? It's not that difficult. I didn't give any difficult things today now. Wow. Okay. That means I'm inviting TM Christopher. TM Christopher.
Yes, I'm here, TM Pradeep.
I was not avoiding you. I wanted to give some other people chances. You know what I'm talking about? It's fine. You know what I'm saying, but it is your day today. Okay, let's go there. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Do you agree that in life we take a lot of decisions?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Now, if you need to go back and reverse any one decision of yours, what decision are you going to reverse? So I want to elicit your opinion on reversing of a decision of yours. Over to you.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. Reversing a decision I have made in the past. Well, thinking about it now, do I really want to do that? Yes, in life, we all have made bad decisions that probably we will look back at and say, oh, I wish I never did that. And then I'm sure we all also have very good decisions we've made that we can look back at and say, yes, that helped in getting me to where I am today. But let's be factual. Both the bad ones and the good ones, in my opinion, have come to make you who you are today. The lessons you learned from the bad ones, the pains that followed, all of those nightmares, they were very good at that point to help you know that this is not the way to go. And the times you took the good decisions, you learned that this is the best way to go, and you do those things more often. It is often said that the man who made the light bulb, a lot of people say it's 1,000, I've heard 10,000 times. Well, no matter how many times it took him, he took decisions to add 1 and 2 together to come up with 3. And every time he did that, he will know if 3 is correct or not. Those are all good decisions or bad decisions.
Is it me or is he frozen?
No, he's frozen. So even though he
He's
tried his
frozen.
best to be the table topic speaker, his network is failing him. So it's not me. So something inside was not making me call him. So maybe I knew his network will fail him. I don't know. That's his decision. But the choice of network was his choice, and the consequence of that choice is being faced by him.
And now he's eliciting a reaction from you that I'm sure you will not be happy to know. I think we lost him.
Yes. So now,
unfortunately, not going well.
I was going through the participant list. One particular name caught my interest so much. TM Chisholm, I won't give you option to call that name because I know you will know that name. Just hold on. Just hold on. Don't call that
You
name.
know what I like. Tell me. Let me call it.
Hold it. The person.
Sorry. I was locked out.
Sorry. You lost your time.
No,
Whatever we heard from you, we are going to elicit this to draw out the conclusion of
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
So the person has named himself as Doctor Who. I want to see Doctor Who. Please on your camera. Let's hear your voice. Let's see you. Doctor Who. Doctor Who.
Sam Pradeep, is it safe for us to say that this is Dr. World Health Organization?
Oh, I don't know. That's what I said.
If it's Dr. World Health Organization, you know he won't be here. He's busy fighting the pandemic.
Yeah, but he's here now. I don't know why people are running away from table topics today from my hand. I have put some simple things there now. Wow. I think I'll move
your
ahead.
camp is scary.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so
please,
the person I want to call on stage now is least expecting it. Sometimes you're at the backstage, you think that nobody can see you and you won't be called upon. So please, TM Landry Laval, please, can I see you, please?
Set up.
I know you're busy at the back end, but a 2 minutes table topics will not hurt anybody. Your other team members can handle the backstage as such. Are you there? Can I see you, sir? Otumba Landry Laval. Where is he now? Where is he?
See dodging.
No, now you can't hold my hand like this. What is happening today? What is happening today?
Even though you've taken the hat, you've taken your hat off.
He's no more in the participant list, can you believe? Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Let me quickly call TM Dara on the line. TM Dara, good morning. TM Dara.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
How are you?
I am fine. How are you guys? How is everyone?
All good.
Thank you.
Okay,
are you ready for the table topics? Should we go there?
I'm very ready. Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. You've been following the discussion, yeah?
Yes.
And you know the day today is elicit, yeah?
Elicit, yes.
Yeah, so I want to elicit and come to a point on the table topics about decisions, yeah?
Okay, yes.
Everybody is in agreement that we take a lot of decisions, but taking these decisions, we at times seek advice from people around us. Do you agree?
Yes.
So just tell us one good advice you have received. One of your best advice, one of the good advices which you have received. That's what I want to know from you. Over to you, TM Dara.
Coincidentally, that's a very, very interesting, question, because I remember just yesterday, I received advice from my father, and we were talking about life decisions. And he said, Dara, it is very, very, very important that you are able to stand on your own. Don't depend on anyone for anything. In this life, you have the responsibility for every decision you make. Yes, you can take my advice, you can take your mother's advice, but you have to remember that you are the architect of your own life, and you have to realize that any decision you make is your it's your responsibility. So before you make decisions, you have to make sure you think about those decisions. You have to make sure you weigh the options. You have to make sure that you weigh all the considerations so that you make the right decisions at the right time. So when I heard that advice, I thought, oh my gosh, that's true. So many critical decisions.
Sorry now, who wants, no, why is TM Dara?
Hello? Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, your mic was on mute. Your mic was on mute before.
Okay, yes. The decisions of a job, the decisions of, choosing a life partner, at the end of the day, I need to be able to make sure that I am not in the position that I am reliant on having to beg people or choose what, basically compromise on my standards. So taking a job, for example, have the right education, study hard, go on courses, develop yourself. Life partner, you pray about it, you make sure that you are the kind of person any other person would want to have. Those are the things that you can do, I can do for myself to enable myself to be independent. And I thought about it and I said, wow, once I do those things, I will be in a better position and I won't have to settle for what I don't think I deserve. So I would say that's one of the best pieces of advice that I received recently. And I thank my dad for giving me that advice. So, fellow Toastmasters, guest, table topics master, that's the best piece of advice I have. Thank you.
Okay, I have the last participant of the day. What I'm going to do for a change, I'm going to I'm going to say the topic. What I'm doing before is I call the participant and then I give the topic. But for the last one, this is the last participant for the day. I'm going to say the topic first and then call on the participant, yeah? Okay. Do nothing. Do nothing is also a part of decision making. Like, should I do this? Or should I take this step? Should I take this step? Or the other one is do nothing. Like, do nothing is also considered as part of the decision making. Yeah. So I want the participants' view on this. Okay. Are you guys ready to the name of, whom I'm going to call on stage? Are you ready, guys? Okay, I can see. Okay, let me see. Okay. No problem. So I'm going to call upon TM Chizom on the stage. TM Chizom, the Toastmaster of the day, is the last table topic participant of the day. Over to you, TM Chizom.
I'm thinking it's another Chiso. There's this Chisi here. Is that the person?
TM, the Toastmaster of the day, TM Chizom, is the last participant of the day. You're going to tell us, do nothing. You're going to tell us, speak on that, do nothing.
Do nothing. Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Pradeep, for making sure that I also wear two hats today. Like you. Okay. We're in a world that is very often fast-paced, and a lot of the time we measure progress and success by how much ground you have covered. But sometimes it's actually better to just stand at a place and just do nothing. A very good example is this period when we have this period of lockdown period where the whole world was suffering from the pandemic, COVID-19. And there was a lot of activity in the air. A lot of people were talking about how, some people were panicking on one side, some people were very afraid on the other side. And on the other side, you were seeing people coming out with loads and loads of materials about how this is the right time for you to move in your life. You need to learn things, you need to do this, you need to do that. If you're not doing anything, you are losing, you're falling behind. So much pressure on so many people. But then I realized that in the midst of all of that hula baloo, all that noise, the only thing it would do is to elicit feelings of fear, of despair in people. And so for people around me, what I told them in that period was actually do nothing. It's fine if you do not have any new skills that you're learning in the first 1 week, because really everybody is struggling to catch up. It's fine if your business is down and you don't have any fantastic genius ideas to go virtual yet. It's fine if you're struggling with even maintaining your relationships. If maybe you have your significant other stuck on the other side of the continent, it is fine for you to actually take time, feel bad, and do nothing actively. Just, ruminate, think about yourself, focus on yourself, be kind to yourself. Because one thing that I find is that all of this activity only boils into it's akin to putting yourself in a pressure cooker. So even while we're gradually going into post-COVID, but I know that a number of us are still suffering the consequences of post-COVID. So I would say, do not allow the pressure elicit equal pressured reactions from you. So sometimes it's also fine to just do nothing, just settle back and let yourself breathe. Thank you very much, Table Topics Master.
Thank you, TM Tizam. So what I'm going to do is, before I hand over the stage to the Toastmaster of the day, I'm going to tell you who the participants were today, so that when the voting comes up, you know who were the participants. The first participant was Mr. Damilare. He is a guest who spoke about that life is a result of past decisions, whether he agrees or not. That's the first person, guest Damilare. The second person was Miss Ayan Feoluwa. She spoke on the best decisions she has taken. Third person was TM Christopher, who talked about reversing, when the topic was given to him about reversing a decision. Remember, we lost him at the end of his session when his network failed him. The fourth participant was TM Dara, who spoke on the best advice he has received. And the last participant for the day was TM Chizom, who spoke about do nothing. So that are the 5 participants for today. I'll repeat: Mr. Damilare, Miss Ayan Feoluwa, TM Christopher, TM Dara, TM Chizom. So those were the 5 participants for today's table topics. So some role players like TM Chizom, he thought that he was immune or he may not be called upon. And when I was saying the topic, that's why you said the topic first. He was all ears. He was putting his ears to the camera as if he could hear from the camera. He was drawing himself near to the camera. I said, you want to hear well. So now that's why I selected him as one of the participants as such. Okay, so the voting screen is in front of you. Please submit your vote so that we can now decide among these 5 participants who was the best participant. I'll thank you for having me as your table topic master today. It's my privilege to hand over the baton or the microphone. I'm handing over this microphone to TM Chizom. TM Chizom, over to you.
All right, thank you very much, Toastmaster Pradeep. Thank you so much. Although the button disappeared here, I did not get it, but it's fine. Thank you so much. I hope we enjoyed this session. If you were called upon without expecting it, I want to say special kudos to Toastmaster Damilare. First, he's a guest, and then secondly, he just jumped on it and went on. He was even the first person that was called. That's very brave. I would say I'm trying so hard to use this elicit. I don't know why the word is hiding from me, but I'm gonna find it. And I will elicitiously elicit the use of this elicit of a word. That could count as 3, depending on who is counting. So I believe we've all voted now. The poll should have appeared on your screen and you would have voted. So now I'm going to call on the table topics evaluator for the day. Like I told you, feedback is a big part of what we'll do here. Who will, in the next couple of minutes, evaluate all the speeches, all the table topic speeches. Toastmaster Samson Falade is a banker by profession who loves to read and listen to people. He also happens to be the vice president membership of Lighthouse Toastmasters. If you're thinking already of joining this beautiful group, this group that just elicits feelings of joy and, that just makes you want to, this elicit word is hard. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Toastmaster Samson Falade.
Hello, good morning, Toastmasters and guests. Please, can you hear me? I just need to. Okay, yes. Thank you very much.
Good morning. We can hear you.
Please, let's put our hands together for all the participants of this table topic session, right from the table topic master and all the participants. Thank you very much. Now, okay, thank you. My evaluation, right from the table topic master, Toastmaster Pradip, of course, it's a veteran at it, and I think he did very well. I love the chemistry between himself and the Toastmaster of the day. And at the point, I was even looking at them trying to do this Bob Daddy challenge, and it was quite hilarious. I think he did a very wonderful job. The fact that he was able to center his discussion or the questions around the theme of the day, decision making, I think that was ingenious. That was something that was wonderful, and he was able to elicit our attention and get people talking. The first speaker, guest Damilare, though network was not fair to me, so I couldn't really get the bulk of his message. But I admire his confidence, the fact that he was the first person that was called upon. He's a guest, the confidence with which he came up. The parts of his speech that I got, because I didn't get the beginning of his speech, was towards the ending. I love the fact that he made reference to a quote in his secondary school that addresses decision making and consequences of his decision. But generally, I think his conclusion was wonderful and he did a very good job. Negatives, I couldn't really pick the negatives because, as I said, I couldn't get the bulk of his message because of network issue. But I think he did a very wonderful job from the little part I was able to elicit from what they said. The second speaker, I guess, Anyofe Oluwa, I think your question was supposed to address that in life we take lots of decisions. That you should tell us one of the best decisions you've taken. The first time immediately I heard your voice, I said, no, this voice is spectacular, it's unique. And the first thing that came to my mind is, this is a radio voice. And as if I knew it, you actually said you are a broadcaster, and it was obvious from your voice. And I think the voice overcompensated for the video with Nossi. You were able to project your feelings or what you wanted to say. You were able to project it to us. I love the fact that you took us through your life story, how you became a broadcaster. You have great storytelling skills. I love your use of diction. You use trajectory and some other beautiful grammar, and I think you did a very wonderful job. Your vocal variety, of course, as expected of a broadcaster, is top notch. Your speech adds structure, introduction, body, and conclusion. I think you did a very wonderful job. What I felt you should have done better, of course, you are not a Toastmaster, but as a Toastmaster or generally in life, you need to be always prepared. You could be called upon at any moment. So you should not just assume that we will just take a back seat. And so whenever you are in a meeting such as this, you should always be prepared that you might be called upon to present your face. So your video and your audio should always be working. But overall, I think you did a very wonderful job. The third speaker, Toastmaster Christopher Anele. Network was not fair to you, but your introduction was wonderful. You were told to speak about a decision you would have reversed if given the chance. Great introduction. You spoke like a philosopher. You made us realize that we all have that in life, nobody is perfect. Everybody at one time or the other made a wrong decision. And you made us realize that decisions have consequences, both good and bad decisions. And you made us realize the benefit of making good or bad decisions as well. As I said, network was not fair to you. So what do I think you should have done better? Now, the main meat of your question you did not address. And that is the trick of not going straight into the meat or the main issue of your question. If you had addressed your question immediately, or at least maybe after a brief introduction, you probably would have told us about that decision that you would have reversed. But I just noticed that throughout the duration, we were able to tune into your speech. You were not able to tell us about that particular decision you would have reversed. But I think you did a very amazing job, save for the network that messed up. You did a very wonderful job. The fourth speaker, Toastmaster Dara Lanleng. of course, that's another person that, okay, she was told to talk about one of the good or one of the best advice she's ever received. Of course, she has a very wonderful voice as well. I could project a smile right from her voice. I've not seen her face yet before I could actually see the smile in her voice. And I think there's something about your voice. If it conveys that smile, it's easier for people to connect with you or to relate with you. You have a very great voice. You did a very wonderful job. You told us a story that was very recent. Just yesterday, you were able to tell us about what your dad told you about making decisions. You have great storytelling skills, as we know. And I love the fact that you used some wonderful phrases, architect of your life. I think I noted that in your speech. I love the fact that you used a word like coincidentally. I think that was wonderful as well. You made us realize that your dad is a good person. You showed appreciation, and I think you did a very wonderful job. Of course, the only thing I will take against you as well again is you're a Toastmaster. You're supposed to always be prepared like a Boy Scout. Your video and your audio should always be on standby. Anytime you are called upon, you are expected to turn off, turn up your video. But all in all, you did a very wonderful job. Now, the last speaker, Toastmaster Chisom, you were given a rather strange topic, because to me it was strange. Do nothing. And one thing I admire about your speech is the fact that, one, you were quite hilarious and spontaneous, and you were able to just fit in almost immediately. I think you sort of gave a brief introduction. At that point, you were trying to ruminate or trying to process that particular topic. But you did a very wonderful job. I love the way you started. You said you were in a world that is fast-paced, and so you built our mind towards what we should expect from your speech. I love the fact that you could project vocal variety in your speech. Your voice was varying to actually portray particular emotions. I love the fact that you're able to fit in what is happening during this period, the Corona period, and how people were actually talking about everybody doing something. And you made us feel comfortable with the fact that if you don't do nothing at this moment, it's really not the end of the world. And I think that is one thing a lot of people are struggling with. And that is one thing we appreciate. Your speech was quite inspirational. And I love the fact that you used some choice words. You used ulabalu. You see, I can't even pronounce it perfectly. You used the word akin, and you used the word of the day several times. I think that was a wonderful job. And that is a trademark of a very good speaker. What do I think you could have done better? Now, you are turning out a lot of information at a very fast rate. Yes, I know you have limited time, but those informations you were giving us, you should have paused and allowed us to assimilate or digest some of those information, because you were just throwing it, and before we could process it, except our CPU was trying to process it as fast as you were throwing it at us. So next time you can limit those number of information you want to push out, so that we can have ample time to digest or to get that information from you. But overall, I think you did a very wonderful job, and I respect your sense of humor and your spontaneity. Overall, everybody did a very wonderful job. And just to conclude, for the table topic master, I think we'll probably still have issues with people dodging or missing out if we don't give priority to volunteers. I think as much as we want to call in guests or select people, let's try to make it a mix of both, volunteers and guests, or people that we actually have in mind, because we are trying to manage time. And if we are calling people and they can't come up, we will be eating into our time. But overall, I think we did a very wonderful job. And a round of applause for everybody that participated in this table topic session. Thank you, the Toastmaster.
Please put your hands together for our table topics evaluator for that very detailed job. I'm sure that for everybody that gave a Toastmaster, this evaluation has elicited a lot of points, a lot of basis for going back to ruminate and just think of the things that we could do better, which is one of the reasons why we're here, to learn and be better for ourselves. And of course, those of us that did not participate, I'm sure you also had learning points as well. So it was all amazing. Thank you so much. This meeting has been going very well. We have come to the end of the first section of the meeting, which is what was the table topics you just saw. Right now, we're going to go on a bit of a break. We're going to take a couple of minutes for us to stretch our limbs, take a drink of water, stretch out your muscles. And also, for those of us that refused to come out for table topics, this is the time for you to sneak out. Just come out and sit as if you were not hiding before. Remember, you can go in the comments and private. If you don't know how to do private chat, come, let me show you. I will show you how to do it. Just go there, click on the name, private chat the person. Just be very sure that you private chat, because things are happening in the private chat. And from there, you can always take it to the DMs. Just remember to give me my commission when it is time for the wedding and business deals. So we're going on the break now. Everybody, please feel free to interact. Timekeeper, let us know when our time is up. And when we come back from the break, we'll launch into another equally, perhaps even more interesting part of this meeting.
What an interesting time to be here. People, are you around? Please, bring out your faces. Let me hear your voices.
Hello,
Who's laughing?
How you doing?
Hi, I'm good. It's good to hear your voice. It's good to hear your voice.
Oh,
Time, I hope you are watching the time.
Is Larry back?
Larry disappeared.
Larry,
who told you? Who told you?
Larry,
who told you?
no, look at.
It was network.
Larry is not true.
How are you, man?
Larry, you went to eat.
No.
Larry, you went to eat.
I'm at the back end.
Back end, come. Back end. You are carrying the back end on your head.
Yes, now you can see me now. I've bobbed my head. Well, the back end doing the back end things,
I can't wait for our prepared speeches. I hope they are getting ready. Right now, they'll be a bit tense. Well, you don't have to be tense, Chinedu, are you here? How are you?
Hi, Ruth. How are you?
It's Jayo. What's that?
Hey, man.
Good morning, Toastmaster Gimba. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Hi, Toastmaster Kubi.
I like your beard.
Toastmaster Kubi, that's a nice background,
Thank you.
Nice suit, too.
Yeah, nice suit. You look refreshing. Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah. So good to have you.
Some people came out of the pandemic was off, but as you can see, Toastmaster Kumbi is looking fresh.
Oh, yes.
Skin is shiny.
Yeah.
Toastmaster Kumbi, come and show me the way. I need to.
And how is it that there are no beards on your face, Tiam Kubi? Where are the beards, man?
No beard, no hair.
That what I used to deceive the ladies. No, I have small beards.
But Jay, we can't see you.
You can't see me.
I need sorry, please. I know our time is almost up, but I'll need 3 to 5 minutes extra. I need to quickly attend to something. I'll be right back as fast as possible.
You want to enter into the white room?
Can you see me now? Can you see me now?
Yes,
I hope you can see me now.
Your fine face,
No, it's not. It's God's grace. No. I need Toastmaster Kumbi to show me the way. Toastmaster Kumbi, please show me the way. Maybe I need to wear a tie.
You have to properly shave.
Shave.
No. This no. I will lose all those. Now. I'm not meant to be using now, but that's not a post filler. Is that?
You can private chat him.
Because the grammarian, are you here? Where's the grammarian?
Yes, I am.
So what do you think about that? Me
Hi,
saying No, there's a way I can say without it being a post filler.
Yeah,
no,
by asking if the person really knows, right?
Yes, like by asking, right?
Yeah.
Oh, the timer is working. The timer is it's not a post filler if you are actually asking the question. It's a post filler if you are using it to
you know.
Yeah, you understand what I'm trying to say. Thank you
You
very
know,
much.
right?
No, but actually, some people's use of is automatically a particular. It
Is
depends
it
on their
automatic?
vocabulary.
Yes.
It depends on their
Yes.
vocabulary.
I was
How
listening to
about
one
as in?
musician, one of
That's a
our
particular.
Nigerian musicians. What's her name? A lady. She was saying something about she does not brag and all that, but she was using a lot of So I was like, Toastmasters, you have really tried for me. See how I'm just catching all this. I should be an accountant. I was just catch, What I say is, I was like, what's happening?
Yeah, me, is it just me or is it that Toastmasters have made me somehow? When I hear people speak, I just automatically start counting the hours. And I don't know.
Me
Sometimes
too.
I think these hours are rich.
I count the
sometimes
hours,
I'm
the
like,
air.
man,
like,
there are so many hours here.
Like 1, 2, 3. What was happening to you? So many hours. we thank God for that. Actually.
Thank God. So Toastmaster of the day is not back from number 3.
Yeah, let's just continue to talk. He's the only one who can call the meeting to order right now.
Hope you guys are keeping safe.
Oh, yes.
Yes, we are. That's why
Have you guys been good?
Oh, yes.
You guys been good?
We've been expecting you, Toastmaster of the day.
We've been awaiting your return.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back
Thank
to
you.
the Zanga. Okay, bye.
You guys are really okay. Welcome back. We're going to jump back right into it, but before we go into it, Toastmaster Ruth, can you come on for a bit and let us know who did you meet during the break? Did you make any new connections?
Oh, yes, I did.
Tell us about it, please.
I met Tim Kubi on a very smart suit. I heard Tim Gimba's voice. I saw Tim Jayola looking stunning. I saw Tim Larry on his sharp look cuts and everything. I met a lot of people. Thank you.
Oh, I love your adjective. There's stunning, there's sharp, there's you're in a different level. All these people that she called, please take notes. Write her name down. The name on this Zoom chat app is Ruth Ijoma.
Noted.
Okay.
I already sent a PM. You know what they call a PM, a private message. No time.
But you just did it. You just did it publicly now, so your own is now public message. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to go straight. We're going to go straight into the prepared speeches segment. The first speech is a Pathways Level 1 icebreaker, and it is going to be taken by a Toastmaster whose profile I will read out, followed by the profile of the person that will be evaluating the speech. So this speech is going to be given by Toastmaster Chinedu, who joined us in 2015. This is his second icebreaker, and he is an engineer who loves gadgets and taking pictures, which of course makes sense. While I'm sure he will blow us away because of this. He loves taking pictures, and this Zoom app is just very picture-oriented, But he's going to be evaluated by Toastmaster Queen, who joined in 2016. She's the current Vice President PR of Lighthouse Prestige, a dance and fitness instructor who loves to read and write. Our dance and fitness instructor will now read out the objectives of the speech for Toastmaster Chinedu, after which he will come on and speak. Over to you, TM Queen.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Chinedu. So TM Chinedu's speech, the main purpose of his speech as an icebreaker is for the member to introduce himself or herself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. So looking forward to listening to your speech, TM Chinedu.
All right, people, please prepare for the speech titled Raise Your Hand by Toastmaster Chinedu. Chinedu Omenkuku, Toastmaster Chinedu Omenkuku, raise your hand.
Thank you, the Toastmaster. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests.
Good afternoon.
Title of my speech is Raise Your Hands, and this is my second icebreaker. To begin, I want us to play a very quick game. Something that's trending, and I felt it would be a good way to start. Have you Imagine Mary goes to the fridge and takes ice, and the ice drops and the ice breaks. Does that mean she has done an icebreaker?
Don't leave me.
Don't leave me. Don't leave me. Don't leave me. Wait. Don't leave me.
Wait.
Don't leave me. Wait.
There is a black belt master called John. He likes eating toast bread a lot. Does that make him a toastmaster?
Hey,
don't leave me. Don't leave me. Don't leave me. Don't leave me. Wait. Oh, what?
So the objective of this speech is to introduce myself, my background, and my personality to you all. I come from a modest family. I have 2 siblings, a brother and a sister. Raise your hands if you know Mother Teresa. Yes, she's a humanitarian known for her works and charitable feats. We had a Mother Teresa in my house growing up. She was my dad. He was simply a nice man. On the flip side was my mom, who is a typical Anambra woman. She's a hustler. And if you've ever seen any of the pictures on social media that depict a typical African woman with her bathroom slippers, yes, that's my mom. Growing up was generally good. I have very good memories of growing up. One that particularly stands out is my love for cartoon at a very early age. In fact, I loved cartoons so much that if I was ever asked the question, what do you want to be when you grow up? The answer was unanimous. I want to be a cartoon. I want to be Iron Man specifically. We all have these life-changing moments. And I had one as a child growing up, the very first time I boarded a plane. It was coincidence, but I sat on the window side and it was very close to the wings of the plane. And I noticed something happen. As the plane was flying up and down and about to land, each time I looked at the wing, I could see some part of the wing go in and out. And I was amazed because none of the cartoon ever depicted this. None of my toys had movable wings. So I was excited and I started to elicit a lot of people's opinion on what was really going on there. I guess the questions that followed after this event shaped my decision to become an engineer eventually. So I graduated from electronics engineering from the University of Nigeria, and I'm currently an IT professional. That being said, growing up, I felt always cheated. I was always in the midst of boys. When I joined Toastmasters, one of the things I decided to do was to check out some of the infographics that exist in the statistics and data hub page of Toastmasters. One particular infographic that stood out was the gender. There are more women than men here. I was like, yes, I'm in the right place. You see, I mean, guys, don't think I'm a pervert, okay? I just felt cheated. I've been cheated all this while, a science student, engineering college, leading up to 10 years in the IT industry. It's always been predominantly guys. But I thank God, today I'm blessed with a beautiful wife and 2 daughters. So anytime I go home, I spread my hands and say, yes, I'm surrounded by babes. Okay. Some other thing you need to know about me is I am an introvert by nature. My circle of friends is very small, and when you take out my colleagues, it's an even smaller number. That being said, I know one of the benefits of joining Toastmasters is my ability to network and make new friends. Raise your hands if you believe in teamwork. Yes, I'm all about teamwork also. And right now, I'm charging all of you as my accountability partners of my journey in Toastmaster to work with me, to build connections with me, and also help me on my journey to become a better Toastmaster here. Leadership is natural if you're the first son in an Igbo family. I am the first son from my family, so there's a lot of leadership responsibilities that is put in me automatically. But the good thing I found out over time is leadership can actually be learned and it can be taught. One of the purposes of joining Toastmasters is the fact that I'm very happy. I will learn a lot of leadership skills. And maybe when I go home, I can better manage the crisis that happens in my house. Because up to today, I don't get it. How can you blame me for the activities of a 28-year-old married man? I don't get it. But I'm the first son, so I have to take all those responsibilities with that. So I would like to end my talk by giving a very true life testimony of how Toastmaster has helped me. I currently work for a multinational company, and during the interview process, I was asked, "Oh, so you're a Toastmaster?" And I was like, "Yes, I'm a Toastmaster." And they asked me, "What do you do in Toastmasters?" I was like, "Yes, Toastmasters is all about effective communication and leadership skills and all that." And then when I got back home, I asked myself a question. You're a Toastmaster since 2015, and you've given just one speech, an icebreaker. So right now, I'm determined to make sure I complete my track. I've decided that I'm going to be grateful for the opportunity I have to actually learn and join this beautiful organization. That being said, I hope I've been able to share a little bit about myself, my background, and my personality. And before I leave this stage, one last thing, I want you all to raise your hands if you believe that Black Lives Matter. The Toastmaster. Thank you.
Wait, don't leave me. If I take you like this, and I put you inside like a test tube, does it mean that you are on YouTube?
Hey, don't leave me.
Wait. Come on, before you go. You know how, meat, right? Meat. Then like all those hotels that they call inn, the ones you have in Ireland. So if you eat meat in an inn, does it mean you are in a Toastmasters meeting?
Don't leave me.
Thank you so much. Put your hands together with Toastmaster Ned. He has managed to, in one meeting, recruit all the ladies to be his accountability partner. Partners. The man has a wife and 2 daughters, and it appears he doesn't have enough women in his life. I don't understand this, but we'll help you, Ned. We'll help you. So, ladies, please, you've heard his cry for help. Thank you so much. That was a lovely icebreaker. I don't even want to imagine what your first one was. At this point, I'm beginning to think maybe you should just be making icebreakers because this one was really good. Now we'll move on to the next speech, which is also a Pathways Level 1 icebreaker titled A New Beginning. I like this title. The speech is going to be given by Toastmaster Chineze Amanfo, who joined in 2015. She is a PR consultant who loves to bake and to teach. She's the one that Toastmaster Gimba was trying to pull her legs in public, was trying to drag her like generator so that she would bring cake for us. She also happens to be the current president of Lighthouse Prestige Toastmasters Club. Evaluating her speech will be Toastmaster Jayola Koka, a brother of mine who joined in 2018. He has won Best Speaker Award twice. He's a consultant and loves having fun. If you were here during the break, I'm sure that you know that already by now. So please put your hands together for Toast. Because we've already done one Pathways Level 1 icebreaker, we will not be reading your objectives anymore. So right now we're going to welcome Toastmaster Chineze Amanfo with her speech, A New Beginning. A New Beginning, Toastmaster Chineze Amanfo.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My name is Chineze Amanfo, like TM Chisom introduced. William Shakespeare wrote, and he said that all the world is a stage and all the men and women are merely players. They have their exits and their entrances. So I made my entry into the world about 4 decades ago. And I must say that I made a grand entry. I came 14 years after my brother. So now you know why I say I made a grand entry. I grew up with my grandparents in the eastern part of the country. So that makes me a local champion. Yes. I grew up in the east, somewhere called Onitsha. Yes. Local champion. Yes. I grew up with my grandmother. Yes. So I have some old ways of doing things. Because if you know, when you grow up with grandparents, there are certain things you do, there are certain ways you behave. I was an only girl. I grew up with 5 of my cousins, and they were all boys, which suggests that I turned out to be a tomboy. So what did that do for me? I learned to fend for myself. I learned to fight. I learned to play football. I learned to do everything I needed to learn. Because when you come to my grandmother to report that someone had done something to you, my grandmother will just look at you, a typical African Igbo grandmother. She will say, so they did that to you and you came to report to me. So I learned to fend for myself. I went to school when others started going to school. People, my mates, went to school. I went to a nursery, primary and secondary school, of course. And then I went to university. The only difference here is that by the time I got to university, I had tried to get into law, so I'm a law reject twice. It didn't work out. So I tried to switch courses. What I didn't realize was that they gave me something I didn't expect. So the first day I came for lecture, woman came into the class and said, bonjour. That was so unusual. So I ended up studying French. And if you went to secondary school, some of us that went to secondary school back in the day, remember how we used to run away from French. I had to do fine arts instead. So imagine getting to the university and now studying French. That was a very, very trying time in my life. But eventually, I succeeded. Okay, so when I finished, it was fine. I studied languages and linguistics. That was a degree I got. So I have a degree in French, and then I have a diploma in German. After that, I did my youth service, and then I spent 6 months working in a travel agency. Then I moved on, worked in an agency. Then I went on to work for a telecommunications company. I don't gossip. Look at me very well. If you know me very well, I don't gossip. My colleague Bukola refers to me as the official tatafo in local parlance. That means official gossip, because everything in the company I know, even if it's not my business, I know. That is my job. So whether you like it or not, whether it concerns me or not, I know. Then, how did I arrive at where I am now? In 2015, I had a heartbreak. If you followed my Toastmaster journey, you will know that that was how I came on to become a Toastmaster. I had a major heartbreak, 23rd of December, that was my Christmas present. And then, when you have a heartbreak, it does so many things. You become a motivational speaker, you become, because you're constantly on a self-assessment, right? You soul searching, you start to reevaluate your life. It's a moment of re-examination, and it's a moment of getting close to God, whether you like it or not. So after that phase of my life, I decided to look for something exciting to do. And then I joined Toastmasters. I did my icebreaker. I went through the whole hall. I got my Competent Communication Award. I got my ACB, which is the Advanced Communication Award. And then I got my ACS. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to move ahead to get to DTM level. But here I am now. This is my icebreaker. This is the second time I'm doing an icebreaker. Is that not a new beginning? Yes, it is for me. I am here so that you know that you can do it if you want to. This is the time to take charge of your life. This is my second icebreaker. This is my new beginning. And from this point, I am going to get to the DTM level, which is the highest level in Toastmasters. I know I missed it the first time, but I will not miss it again. Okay? So it's always a point, there's always a point in your life where you reevaluate, like when I had my heartbreak in 2015. You go on a self-examination. You try out new things. So this is my new beginning, especially with this COVID-19 pandemic going on. This is the time when I'm going to make choices. which of course will help me improve my life, improve my work, and improve my relationship with people. So let's all work together, learn from each other, and become excellent speakers and excellent Toastmasters. The Toastmaster.
There's problem to do. That was amazing. I mean, when I saw Toastmaster Chines and I saw Icebreaker, I was like, wait, hold up, what's going on? What's going on? But now I can see that clearly this is a new beginning. All it has done, I'm sure, and it has done the same for other people here too. All it has done for me, it has elicited a desire, a bigger hunger to, you know, follow in these footsteps and try to conquer the DTM prize. And if you do not know what the DTM prize is before the end of this meeting, you will know exactly why it is a prize. Thank you again for that beautiful speech, Toastmaster Chineze Amanfo. I mean, I feel like telling all Toastmasters, please go out into the world and break hearts. Because if heartbreak will be bringing people into Toastmasters, is a good thing for them. So maybe that's something we want to consider putting in the slogan for Toastmasters, you know, as a way to bring people in. But please don't quote me for saying it. Now, the last speech, but definitely not the least, and I hate to even have a last speech for today because I'm really, really enjoying being on here with everyone, is a speech from the Interpretive Reading Manual, Project 5, the oratorial speech. Exciting. It is going to be given by Toastmaster Kubi Oyanga, ACBALB, a communications consultant who has been in this club for 7 years. He joined in 2013. He reads, writes, and ponders human psychology. And I ponder what this speech is, how this speech is going to be. It's going to be evaluated by Toastmaster Samson Falade CCCL, a seasoned speaker who has also won the Best Speakers Award. He's a banker, loves to read and listen to people, and currently the Vice President membership of Lighthouse Toastmasters. Toastmaster Samson will now read out the objectives of the speech, after which I will welcome Toastmaster Kubi Oyanga on to the stage. Toastmaster Samson.
Okay, good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests once again. Good afternoon, Toastmaster Kubi. So what are the objectives of your speech? One, to understand the structure of an effective speech. And secondly, to interpret and present a famous speech. Please go ahead and blow us away. Thank you.
Welcome for the speech titled The Abolition Speech by William Wilberforce, Toastmaster Kubi Oyanga. Toastmaster Kubi Oyanga, The Abolition Speech by William Wilberforce. You're still on mute. You're still on mute, sorry. Okay, that's fine.
Thank you very kindly, Mr. Toastmaster, for your warm introduction and that very kind direction. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. In recent weeks, that phrase has become the rallying cry for oppression of the blacks by the whites. But more than 2 centuries ago, the fights have started. Not in America, but over there in Europe. When William Wilberforce, a member of the British Parliament, converted to Christianity, he sought to change the things, the evils he found within himself and within the world. And one of those glaring issues at that time that he decided to take up and champion as a cause was the abolition of slavery. On the 12th of May, 1789, Wilberforce made his first speech on the abolition of the slave trade before the House of Commons. He passionately made his case why the trade was reprehensible and needed to cease. Of course, he did not succeed, but year after year, he kept on reintroducing the bill until the Slave Trade Act was finally passed in Britain in 1807. So I am going to present that first speech that he gave to champion this cause. It's titled The Abolition Speech, of course, by William Wilberforce. Fellow members of Parliament, when I first considered the magnitude of this subject of which I will bring to the House, when I consider a subject in which the interests, not of this country, nor of Europe, but of the whole world and of posterity is hinged on. And when I think at the same time on the weakness of the advocate of this cause, this great cause, when these reflections press upon my mind, I cannot but help but feel terrified and concerned at both my weakness and inadequacy at the task. But when I reflect, however, on the encouragement that I have had through the whole course of a long and laborious examination of this question, and how much candor I have experienced, and how conviction has increased within my own mind in proportion as I have advanced in my labors, when I reflect especially that however averse any gentleman may now be, yes, we shall all be of one opinion in the end. When I turn myself to these thoughts, I take courage. I determine to forget my other fears, and I march forward with a firmer step, in the full assurance that my cause will bear me out, and that I shall be able to justify upon the clearest principles every resolution in my hand, the about end of which is the total abolition of the slave trade. I wish exceedingly in the outset to guard both myself and the House from entering into the subject with any sort of passion. It is not their passions I shall appeal to. I only ask for their cool and impartial reasoning. And I wish not to take them by surprise, but to deliberate point by point upon every part of this question. I mean not to accuse anyone, but to take the shame upon myself, in common, indeed, with the whole Parliament of Great Britain, for having suffered this horrid threat to be carried on under their authority. We are all guilty. We ought to all plead guilty, and not to exculpate ourselves by throwing the blame on others. And I therefore deprecate every kind of reflection against these various descriptions of people who are more immediately involved in this most wretched business. Having now disposed of the first part of the subject, I must speak of the transit of the slaves in the West Indies. This, I confess, in my opinion, is the most wretched part of the whole subject. So much mystery condensed in so little room is more than the human imagination had ever before conceived. I will not accuse the Liverpool merchants. I will allow them be. I will believe them to be men of humanity, and I will therefore believe. If it were not for the enormous magnitude and extent of the evil which detracts from their attention from individual cases and makes them think generally, and therefore less feelingly on the subject, they would never have persisted in the trade. I verily therefore, if the wretchedness of any one of the many hundred Negroes showed in each ship, to be brought before their view and remain within the sight of the African merchants, that there is no one amongst them whose heart could bear it. Let anyone imagine to himself 600 or 700 of these wretched chains, chained 2 to 2, surrounded with every object that is nauseous and disgusting, diseased and struggling under every kind of wretchedness. How can we bear to think of such a sin as this? One would think it had been determined to heap upon them all the varieties of bodily pain for the purpose of blunting the feelings of the mind, and yet, in this very point, to show the power of human prejudice. The situation of the slaves has been described by Mr. Norris, one of the Liverpool delegates, in a manner which I am sure will convince the House how interests can draw a film across the eyes. So thick that total blindness could do no more, and how it is our duty, therefore, to trust not to the reasonings of interested men or to their way of coloring a transaction. The apartments, said Mr. Norris, have fitted up so much for their advantage as circumstances will admit. The right angle of one indeed is connected to the left angle of another by a small iron fetter, and if they are turbulent, by another on their wrists. They have several meals a day, some of their own country provisions, with the best sauces of African cookery, and by the way of variety, another meal of bowls, and according to European taste. After breakfast, they have water to wash themselves while their apartments are perfumed with frankincense and lime juice. Before dinner, there are meals under the corner of their country. The song and dance are promoted. And as if the whole was really a scene of pleasure and dissipation, it is added that those games are punished. The men sing while the women and girls make fanciful ornaments with beads, which they are plentifully supplied with. Ladies and gentlemen, such is the sort of trend in which the Liverpool delegates, and particularly Mr. Norris over there, get evidence before the Privy Council. What will the House think when, by the concurring testimony of all the witnesses, the true history is laid open? The slaves who are sometimes described as rejoicing at their own captivity are so wrong with misery and leaving their country that it is the constant practice to set sail at night, lest they should be sensible of their departure. The poles which Mr. Norris talks of are poles beings, and the scarcity both of water and provision was suggested by the very legislature of Jamaica in the report of their committee to be a subject that calls for the interference of Parliament. Mr. Norris talks of frankincense and lime juice. When surgeons tell you the slaves are stored so close that there is not room to spread amongst them. And when you have it in evidence from Sir George Donge, that even in a ship which wanted 200 of her compliments, the stench was intolerable. The song and dance, says Mr. Norris, are promoted. It had been more fair, perhaps, if he had explained what that word promoted means. The truth is, for the sake of exercise, these miserable wretches are loaded with chains, oppressed with disease and wretchedness, and are flogged with whips and forced to dance and sing. And that is what it means to be promoted. Upon the whole, however, here is a mortality of about 50% in the course of the journey of the sail right from the African coast over to the West Indies. And this amongst Negroes who are not bought unless as the fresh is with cattle, they are sound in wind. How then can the House refuse its belief to multiply testimonies before the Privy Council of the savage treatment of the Negroes in the Middle Passage? Nay, indeed, what need is there of any evidence? The number of deaths speak for itself and makes all such inquiry superfluous. As soon as ever I had arrived thus far in my investigation of the slave trade, I confess to you, sir, so enormous, so dreadful, so irremediable that its wickedness appeared that my own mind was completely made up of the abolition. A trade founded in iniquity and carried on as this was must be abandoned. Let the policy be what it might, let the consequences be what they could be. I would from this time determine that I would never rest until I had effected its abolition. I rest my case, fellow members. The Toastmaster.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that rousing demonstration, Toastmaster Kubi Iyanga. Listen, speaking is not child's play. It is serious business, and you can see if there's anything that I particularly love about this business of speaking or this art of speaking that we're into, it's the It's the fact that it just brings together so many expressions of art. You have a bit of drama in it. You can play with your voice in it. You can play with your body. It's just all encompassing as far as human expression is concerned. And this speech by Toastmaster Kube Yanga is a perfect example of what that is about. Thank you again, Toastmaster Yanga, for bringing us to an end to the prepared speeches segment with that wonderful one. I hope we have all been enjoying ourselves. If you've been having fun here, can you put in the comments, fun, F-U-N, let's see it in the comments. Go in the comments, put F-U-N, put as many exclamation marks as you can find in there. Let us know that we're together here. Let us know that we're still with ourselves. Thank you. And now I'm going to call for votes, but quickly before then, I'd like for the timekeeper to please tell us if any of the three speakers defaulted where time is with time. Toastmaster Chinedu, Toastmaster Chineze, and Toastmaster Kubi, are we good on time for all of them? TM Chinyere Emeka, please just quickly let me know if we're good on time.
Okay.
I'm not asking for your reports yet. Just let me know if the three speakers are good with time.
Toastmaster Ubi Yanga, he spent more than the time. Why the rest have time?
But
okay,
Toastmaster Kubi was even on a different level entirely. So
yes, his speech was 8 to 10 minutes.
Yes. So.
Yeah.
How many minutes specifically did he speak?
10 minutes, 53 seconds.
How many seconds?
53 seconds.
53 seconds, okay.
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 Okay. In that case, we'll be voting between Toastmaster Chinedu, Omenkuku, and Toastmaster Chineze Amanfo. Can we please have the poll for the votes? And while we're getting that ready, I would jump into the report, starting with, starting with the evaluators. We're gonna have to take the evaluators first before we can do the report. So can we have the poll? Because I wouldn't want us to be influenced by the evaluation before. Yeah, I can see your fun in the comments. Yes, I'm glad that what we're doing here is eliciting this reaction from you. Thank you very much. I hope our grammarian is taking notes, because I will not be deprived. I think I'm just going to go ahead with the evaluation. Since we're waiting for the poll for the votes between these two, I think we could start with evaluation from Toastmaster Kubi's speech, since we will not be, okay, we have our poll right already. Okay, so please quickly vote, just 2 clicks, that's all you need to do to vote, while I call on Toastmaster Queen Ubre CC to evaluate Toastmaster Chinedu Omenkuku's speech. Toastmaster Queen, please.
Okay. Well done, TM Chinedu, and welcome back to your Toastmaster journey. I think after a few years, you've been cooking something for us, and I think your new journey has taken off like an airplane, like you spoke about, and I hope you keep going till you reach the final destination of DTM. Your speech, I would say, achieved the main purpose, the main objective of the icebreaker, which is to tell us more about you. I feel like I can write like a short biography about you right now, about your family and your career as well too. I think your speech was very engaging. It was interesting. It was entertaining, and at the same time, it was still informative. Your use of humor was very well done. From the beginning with the challenge, it got us all engaged, and it kept us in a good mood. That was a very good beginning, because we're all interested from the get-go, and we're looking forward to what the rest of the speech would be about. And you didn't disappoint. Your body, you gave us information about yourself, infusing stories from your past, from your family, from career. Like you were able to give us information about yourself in a nice way, and it was smoothly done. It didn't feel like an information overload. It was taken bit by bit. I think some areas you may want to improve on for your next speech would be your vocal variety. So your voice was very audible. We could hear you. You had a good facial expression as well. But I think with more vocal variety and the use of pauses, it will take your speech even to a higher level. Your body gesture was clear, even though you were seated. You could see the plane flying. You could see your arms receiving the babes in your life, and you know it was very good start again for your journey. And I look forward to the next speech and the ones after that as well. Well done.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Queen, for that. Next up, evaluating Toastmaster Chineze, a man for his Toastmaster Jayola Coker.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. The world is a stage, and all men and women are players. They have their exits and entrances. That was a fantastic speech and an inviting introduction, TM Chineze. The introduction held my attention. And because your speech was well structured, I was able to follow your speech from the beginning to the end. Although your pauses were good, one thing I would have liked to see more of is pauses at transitions or keywords. I feel when you pause at transitions and keywords, it helps convey and elicit emotions from your audience. Now, an example would be like the part when you said, imagine going to the university and studying French. So imagine is a keyword. And when you say imagine, we want to imagine. So you just said, imagine going to the university and studying French. I would have expected, imagine going to the university. Like imagine, so I would just want to imagine. So I felt pauses at those transitions, I would have liked more of that. And also I would have liked more vocal variety. There was a part you spoke about your grammar. I could not really differentiate who was talking between you and your grandma. There was also a time you spoke about a woman that came into the class and said bonjour. I could not really differentiate. So I think the vocal variety would have helped me to be able to differentiate as an audience. And also, one part I also like to talk about is in 2015, you mentioned something about an ad break, but I could not see the ad break. You were smiling about, oh, in 2015, I had an ad break. And so the body language was, so I felt maybe this was sarcasm because the body language was not conveying to me that you actually had an ad break at that period. But overall, you engaged us with your eyes. Your storytelling skill is impeccable. I would like to hear more of your speeches. Thank you, Toastmaster Chineze. Thank you.
Thank you, Jayola. My heart is not broken now.
I mean, Toastmaster Jayola is a professional in this heartbreaking business. Yes. So I can understand why he is worried about the mixed expressions. Thank you so much for that evaluation. The last one is by Toastmaster Samson Falade, who has done a lot of evaluations today. We should be giving him an award, seriously. He will be evaluating Toastmaster Kubi Yanga's speech. TM Samson. TM Samson, are you here? Toastmaster Samson. Wait, is it me? Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Loud and clear.
Okay, so it's not me then. Okay, we'll just well, we can go on and vote now since Toastmaster Kubi is not eligible for voting. So we can vote for the evaluators for Toastmasters Chinedu and Chineze. The evaluators were Toastmaster Queen and Toastmaster Jayola Coker. We have we already have the poll up there. And Toastmaster Samson is back. So Toastmaster Samson, please go ahead. You're on mute. You have to unmute Toastmaster Samson.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, fantastic.
Okay, I think we need to give Toastmaster Kubi a wonderful round of applause because he did a very wonderful job. Why am I saying so? Because his objective was to interpret and present a famous speech, more like he's wearing the garb of a famous orator. And you agree with me that that is not an easy feat, to is quite a daunting task. I love the fact that he came up with a wonderful introduction, something we could all relate with. I can't breathe. And I think for the past few weeks, Black Lives Matter has been a common phrase all over the world, everywhere, even for those that are familiar. For those of us that are football lovers, you see that those premiership jerseys are actually displayed with Black Lives Matter. I love the choice of topic. His choice of topic again was reflective of what is happening at the moment. We can relate slavery to Black Lives Matter because it's all about emancipation. So it chose a topic that we could relate with, that is actually still relevant to our present day. I love the fact that he introduced William Wilberforce to us. He was trying to prepare our mind because for millennials, we probably do not know who William Wilberforce is. And we probably don't even know, because our history did not even give us enough information about how the abolition of slavery came about. I love his voice projection. His accent, actually, he chose that British accent that was able to project the fact that he was actually a parliamentarian and he was speaking to his fellow parliamentarians as well. I love the fact that he was able to use the lectern. At least he improvised and provided the lectern, and that is the way we expect somebody that is giving an oratorial speech in an assembly to he was able to portray that particular picture. I love the fact that he used good gestures. His vocal variety was top notch, and he was able to actually mimic various. He was able to role play. There was a point where he was talking about the Liverpool delegate and how he was trying to mimic the Liverpool delegate and how they were addressing or their perception about the slaves they kept. And I could see the vocal variety at the same time, the sarcasm in what he was trying to portray. I think he did a wonderful job. He was able to connect with the audience. He was able to speak intelligently. And I think he was able to carry the audience along. What do I think he should have done better or differently? His dressing, yes, his dressing was top notch, but at the same time, he should have probably used a prop that would have shown that yes, he's still one of those parliamentarians. If you look up the image of William Wilberforce, he was always wearing a neckerchief. So probably would have improvised and worn a neckerchief or something that would have signified that okay, this is not your regular, this is the way parliamentarians dress at that point. So I think he would have used that to portray who William Wilberforce is. I think his speech, as much as I don't expect him to memorize the whole speech because it will be very difficult, he would have memorized some portion because he would have given it originality. If you had memorized some portions and don't look at your script, it would have made us connect more and given us more. He would have given his speech more originality, more like he is the person speaking by himself. I love the fact that I love his conclusion. His conclusion was wonderful. His conclusion was a good climax. His voice actually rose to a wonderful crescendo, which signified that he was actually calling us to action. It's like, I need you guys to abolish this slave trade. What is happening here is not acceptable. And the way he concluded actually revealed the fact that we actually need to do something about this particular menace. But overall, I think Toastmaster Kubi did a very wonderful job and he was able to interpret the role perfectly. Thank you, Toastmaster Kubi. Toastmaster.
Thank you very kindly, Toastmaster Samson.
Thank you so much. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Samson, for that rousing evaluation. Thank you so much to all our speakers. I'm sure that by the speeches that you have given, will elicit different emotions, will elicit the emotions of, will be some sort of spur for a lot of people that are looking for the catalyst to go ahead and give their speeches. It will also elicit life lessons, learnings from life lessons among others of us here that are just listening. I have learned a lot just from listening to all of you, and I'm sure that others have as well. As we draw closer to the meetings, I will now go over to the evaluation team, starting with the team members to give their reports. First to give her report is the timekeeper and hour counter, Toastmaster Chinyere Emeka.
Okay. Good afternoon. Yeah, we're in the afternoon. So
Hi, good afternoon.
reports based on the timekeeper role today. For the table topics, we have like 5 speakers, and all were within the time frame, except for Damilare. He spoke for about 3 minutes, 13 seconds. Then Dare spoke for 2 minutes, 15 seconds. If it was 2 minutes, 30 seconds, it would have been out. So it's still considered within the time. Then TM Chisom spoke for 2 minutes, 10 seconds. Then I don't know how to pronounce her. Ife Oluwa, she spoke for 1 minute, 41 seconds. Then for the prepared speeches, TM Chinedu spoke for 5 minutes, 59 seconds. Then TM Chineze spoke for 5 minutes, 58 seconds. TM Kubi Uyanga spoke for 10 minutes, 53 seconds. And for the role as an accountant today, some few people used the pause fillers, but the highest is okay, he's a guest speaker anyways. Damilare, use it for like 10 times. I also use it. I used it also, so I'm not out. Then TM Chisom used it for four times in a speech. TM Samson used it also. Jayola Koka used it 3 times. TM Samson also used it like 5 times. So that's my report for today.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chinyere Emeka. What do we say to Damilare, who we know very soon with TM Damilare?
Please
Don't do it again. Thank you so much. I will again want to, I'd like to at this point again, I appreciate Damilare Ogunaike for stepping up to the plate. That is courage that you do not see at every Toastmasters meeting. It's truly commendable. Next, to give his report is our grammarian and listening evaluator, Toastmaster Salif Mohammed, CCCL.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chisom. The word of the day was used graciously. I'm very impressed the way the word of the day was used in this meeting. And I don't want to inundate you with all the retinue of all the users of the word, but I would like to mention 2 people that seemed like they had a bet before the meeting started, TM Pradeep and TM Chisom. And the way TM Pradeep started, the rapidity was like he wanted to make sure he won the bet. But at the end, TM Chisom won. TM Pradeep used it 8 times. TM Chisom used it 12 times. Now to test our listening skills, our guest, I am Feolua, said her life was shaped by 3 decisions. I mentioned 1. What is this one decision that she spoke about in her table topic speech? Very quickly, who can answer? Can you all hear me?
To be a broadcaster. Can I answer? Is that the answer?
That's it. Training to become a broadcaster. Good one. I'm impressed.
I didn't know that.
The next one. Who gave TM Dara the best piece of advice on decision making that she shared with us?
Her dad.
Yeah. Correct.
Her dad.
Thank you. That's correct. The Toastmaster of the day, TM Chiso, wrapped up the table topics speech. What was the central speech he talked about? The central theme.
The importance of doing nothing. How doing nothing can also be a decision.
Thank you. I wanted a phrase, doing nothing.
Yeah. we still get the point now.
Yes, it's correct. Okay. I'm impressed. Who did TM Chinedu liken his dad to in his speech, his icebreaker speech?
Mother Teresa.
Mother Teresa.
Good listening skills. According to TM Chinedu, again, leadership can be dashed and be dashed. 2 words. Leadership can be dashed and be dashed.
Can be good and bad.
I got you all here. I thought you would get it all. And I was wondering if I was really testing you at all. Leadership can be dash and be dash. And I'm sure the only one
you not give us one.
The only one, if I do, I would have let the cat out of the bag.
Okay. Leadership can be.
Okay, I give you. Leadership can be learned and be
unlearned.
Taught. No.
Correct.
Oh, yes.
That's a wise one.
Yeah.
According to TM Chineze, in her speech, she is a local dash
champion
who was born dash years after her brother.
Hey, I say him.
She's a local champion.
Remember, she made a grand entry. So how many years after her brother?
14.
13?
Correct.
14.
Who said 14?
She's the one.
A good listener. What was TM Chineze's Christmas gift in 2015 that motivated her?
Heartbreak.
It
was malaria. It was malaria.
If I catch the heartbreaker, I will thank him.
Oh, yes. So we have to give it to him.
That would be all. I enjoyed every bit of the meeting. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Salif. Please, I have been making a very major omission. I have just been informed that Toastmaster, there were two guests who actually accepted who took on the bold challenge of table topics, and the second person was Toastmaster Ayonfe-Olua. I mean, her speech was so good that there's no way I would have known she was a guest if someone hadn't told me. So I'm extending the appreciation, special appreciation I had for Damilare, also to Ayonfe-Olua for doing that and doing that exceptionally well. My general evaluator's report is as follows. We started late. A lot of us weren't here on time, even though the portal was probably open at 11, but some of us weren't here, especially some of the principal people that we needed to start. So that's something we need to watch out for, which is why we are now dragging. We're now late. This meeting should have been over by 1 p.m. And so we're dragging to the end. Technology fared better. It would have been good if role players who would need to share their screen would have been able to practice that beforehand. That would have helped for smoother transition. Also, those that are playing roles or those that are attending, I know that it's easy to get distracted, or it's easy to get distracted here on this course. But if you have a role to play, or you're contributing something, it would help to stay by your screen or your phone, so that when you're called upon unexpectedly, you would still be able to come up. All in all, it was a very good meeting, and we all have had fun, I believe. If you had fun, please put on your mic and say yay.
Yay.
Thank you. Okay, so back to Toastmasters. Now I'm going to wrap up my responsibilities for the day by giving the reports for the winners. I'm going to start with table topics. The winner for the table topics section, please unlock your mics, because we need to be doing table taps here. We need to be doing round of applause. We need to be. Well, it's not Toastmaster yet, but hell, Toastmaster Ayonfe-Olua Wole Ojo, come on. Diane, please come on.
Thank you.
Is this really your first time in this meeting?
No, my first time was at the general meeting we held last Saturday, I think.
Oh, I see.
The general meeting, yeah, that was my very first meeting. And this is my second, really.
Yeah, your voice is just a Toastmasters voice. It's like I hear your voice and I want to just say, let me just write my Toastmaster for the day notes and just give you, so you'll be saying it from here. That was splendid. Thank you very much. Next up is evaluation. So our best evaluator for the day is, give me that table roll. Come on. Toastmaster Jayola Koka.
Thank you, Toastmasters and guests. Thank you so much. I'm trying to make my voice to be as sweet as Toastmasters. Guests,
please don't even try. Don't try. I won't even interview you. Please move on. Just shift to one side. And then the premium one for the day, the best speaker for the day is, I want a table roll that mirrors the grandeur of this position. Come on, give me a table roll for our best speaker of the day, Toastmaster Chinedu Omenkuku. Toastmaster Ned, don't leave us. Come on and say hi.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. This is good. So I believe that this a good speech, best speaker award is definitely that platform you need to relaunch your Toastmaster career. And I mean, we're here for it all. We're here to witness it. Thank you and congratulations. On that note, I would say thank you to everyone for making this a fun event. It's always a good time. Anytime I have the opportunity to even be in a Toastmasters meeting, much less be the Toastmaster of the day. Thank you for listening. Thank you for interacting. I know that it's tough considering that we're practically talking to a screen, but yeah, we've gotten into the groove of things, and I dare say we're killing it. On that note, I would like to hand over to the President, Lighthouse Prestige Toastmaster, Chineze Amanfo.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Chisom, and congratulations to all the winners. We have overshot our time by 24 minutes, so I'm going to do this in 1 or 2 minutes. Again, Ayom Feolua and Damilare, please introduce yourself quickly before we wrap up. Yourself, tell us your name, what you do, how you learned about our club, and then your impression of today's meeting. Please do that in one minute, please.
My name is Ayon.
Yes.
Let me go. Okay, my name is Ayon Feolua Waliljo. I am the lead coach at Queen's Diction and Social Polish Academy, which means I teach elocution for a living. So I got to know about Toastmasters many years ago from my coach, Richmond Dyer Johnson, but I never got to join due to one reason or the other. But at the general meeting we held on Saturday, my friend, Toastmasters Craig, invited me to the meeting. And that was my first experience. And then I thought, why haven't I joined all this while? But for this meeting, Toastmasters Jayola invited me for the meeting for today. And it's been amazing. I mean, I've been glued to my phone for the past 2 hours. And it's been such a rewarding session for me.
Okay, thank you so much for coming. And we hope to see you again next week.
Yes,
right?
I want to join. I'm registering right away. I mean, I've delayed this for too long.
Fantastic. Someone will reach out to you. That's so cool. Someone will reach out to you to give you details of the registration. Okay. Damilare, please, can we meet you? Damilare Ogunaike.
My name is Damilare Ogunaike. I'm a product manager at FinTech in Nigeria, in Lagos here. So I learned about Toastmasters online, actually. Back in university, I was in a public speaking group, always a passive member, and I just Googled something similar, I mean, a couple of years ago, and I found Toastmasters. I've been attending the meetings as a guest for over 2 years now, being on and off. And this is actually the first time I'm going to participate in table topics. So it's quite, will I say, challenging experience, though it elicited some things I need to work on, actually. So yeah, I'm going to be joining actually by the end of this month, unfailingly, because I really want to. I'm enjoying this.
Okay, perfect. We look forward to having you here. Okay, so this is like the Toastmaster of the day said, we have 2 clubs here, Lighthouse and Lighthouse Prestige Toastmasters Club. We're sister clubs. We meet here because of the COVID-19 pandemic. We meet every week by 11 o'clock. We always share the link for you to join. Okay, we meet here 11 to 1. Today is an exception because of the challenges. We try to keep to time. That's one of the things we do well at Toastmasters. So we look forward to seeing you again next week by 11 o'clock on the dot. We hope that as you're a guest, we hope that you join so you can reap the benefits of Toastmasters Club. If you have any questions, if there's anything, you can reach out to any of us. Is any of the VPMs here so they can drop their numbers? Any of the VPMs here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. So please reach out to our guest and then we'll take it up from there. Okay. I'm going to close the meeting. Okay. I hope that we were all, because especially our guest speaker who told us about decision making at the beginning. I have a personal note on decision making. That you make and be confident in decisions. And I always tell people, stop looking for people's approval for everything and everything you want to do. Live your life and do what you want. That means if you have to take a decision, take a decision. If you don't have to take a decision, hey, not taking a decision is a decision on its own. So let's go out there, take decisions that will improve our lives, that will make us better people, and will make us probably better leaders and sound public speakers. Okay, with the power rested on me as the president of Lighthouse Prestige Toastmasters Club, I'd like to adjourn this meeting to the 27th of June 2020, same time, 11 o'clock. Please have a good day. Remember to keep safe. There's still a lot going on. Please be safe wherever you're going to. Okay, enjoy the rest of the day and bye.
Bye.
Thank you, bye.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, Kubi.
Bye, Team Chinese. Have a wonderful weekend and a great week ahead.
You too.